Hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? So I'll have a quick review, like always, and look towards the next coming game week. Room 101, because that's how many points are scored for this game week. And I actually even said on the scout stream on Monday, I feel a little bit unlucky. I thought I could have had more. I put Tony at the first bench. A couple of chances, but nothing really coming too much there from Tony. Livramento sat there second bench. When do we start Livramento? I mean, it is interesting. They come across now. I think it's Watford this game week, you can see. So what are we going to do about that? Transfer questions that people might have, or selection questions, we'll look into as well. We're back at our normal 12 o'clock-ish lunchtime stream. Couple of previous ones have been about 3 p.m. UK time because of having to take care of my wife. But we're back to a normalish time. Hi, Joe. How you doing, buddy? I think I saw you join the Discord not long ago. Krista was knocking around as well. Neil won't be here. Neil is... might be on the school run again, but we'll wait and see. We'll just wait for a couple of people to jump in. So if you've got any questions, then pop them in the chat before we have a quick review of game week 9 and go towards game week 10. I'm planning to roll my transfer. I did actually want to roll before, but there's nothing I could do. Just the last few weeks, I've just had flags after flags after flags. I do have one flag you see here, Christensen, but I think he's going to be okay. Same as Rafinha. Joe's the same as me. Livramento points always stuck on the bench. There's just... You always want to play the attacker over the defender, right? Even though I believe in a big 4 or even a 5 at the back, if you've got a budget player like Livramento in a team like Southampton, it's difficult to trust a player, even though he's really good, but trust a defender from one of those teams. I mean, if you had 5 at the back and the stand is like 2 Chelsea, 2 Man City and Liverpool, probably Trent, then yeah, you might start to think, oh, I'm going to play them. But to trust a player like Livramento over an attacking midfielder like Rafinha or Tony or Antonio, it's a little bit difficult. Hey, Sparta, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. I'm going to show you guys when we talk about Mount. And I have been talking about it, and I did. People thought I was being a bit harsh for those that brought Havertz in. And again, I do understand why you'd bring Havertz in. Personally, wouldn't have captured him. Personally, bring him in. But this is a video that I made August 1st. You can see here, August 1st, 2021, pre-season, where I specifically talk about these were my 3 budget choices, and I'll play this about what I said about Mount then. And again, it's just another example of where I've called something like the big at the back, and it's paying off. And I called Mount since pre-season, so we'll look at that when we get about in the review. But we'll look at the teams first. So yeah, I am surprised that Mount got 24 points. I'm not going to pretend I thought he was going to get a hat trick, but there's precedence there, and he was always going to join my team. Always, since the summer, August 1st, when I made this video, he was always going to be in there. So I've not actually reviewed what I said in this video. But I do know that I did mention that when I was researching over the summer for my start of the season, he wasn't going to be in the start of it, but he just kept popping up everywhere on stats. And when he starts, he genuinely is. He was my choice ahead of Jota and Greenwood and players like that. So we'll just have to wait and see. Hey, Daft, welcome, buddy. On a wild card this week. Nice. Double Chelsea, City and Liverpool defenders? I mean, surely. Hey, Matt, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you. This week you've got 2 to choose from. Jota, Umbomo, Sarr, and Livramento still leaning towards the first 2. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't even have Sarr anymore. Just nothing about Watford that tickles my fancy, if I'm perfectly honest. Hey, Peter, how are you doing, buddy? Currently still have Ronaldo. Can get any striker. Have Antonio and Jimenez. Would Jesus be worth the transferring? Now, I've said since game week 2, Gabriel Jesus has played fantastically well. And he's specifically said that he wants to play on the wing, which you don't think is good for your striker. But let me, again, come back to the likes of Chelsea, Liverpool, or Manchester City. Their danger player, their goal scorers are not the centre forwards. So Jesus actually going onto the wing, yeah, he'll probably get more assists, but playing down the middle is probably worse for Jesus. It's like Firmino at Liverpool, and it's like Havertz at Chelsea at the moment, right? When I've read out that list of how many goals that Chelsea centre forward position has scored under Tuchel, and we know Firmino's not the main goal scorer for Liverpool, and we know whoever plays down the middle for Man City now is not their main goal scorer. But Jesus going to the wing is a good thing. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal, and he did fantastically well against Brighton. So is Jesus worth a transfer in? Potentially, like I said this on Scout, if you've got a bench, Peter, and if you can deal with benchings, go for it. I'm the kind of guy that if I've got a player that I think Jesus is what, 8.5, 8.6 million. Let's just double check, make sure we get this right. 8.6 million. He's 8.6 million, right? If you can accept him being benched, for sure, why not? But if you can't, then don't. Because some people will just be angry or upset or disappointed or annoyed or whatever because they're not playing, and then they'll just not enjoy the game. So if you've got a good bench, or you're fine with him sometimes getting subbed off early or whatever, then Jesus, I think, is a great player. But I think 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 is where I'm leaning. At the minute, I don't think there's any strikers to go to, if I'm perfectly honest. I'm just not leaning towards any forwards that are catching my eye. A plan that I'm having, so my plan is to roll my transfer, right? And then I'm going to go Kane down to like Hwang, and then Gallagher up to Son, because I just massively prefer Son over Kane. And people might think that's a bit sideways, but I'm just relying on my midfielders. There's no strikers at the minute that is catching my eye. So I just think a 4-4-2 at the minute is a formation that I'm going to be leaning towards. Hey, Denver, welcome back, buddy. -16, every hit worked. Barvardi. Yeah, that's still a great score. And I love weeks like that. You know, when someone makes an absolute massive monster hit and it just works out like that. Because the average was what, 64? This felt like the first game week where we had such a gap of points. Like, you had some really low scores and you had some really high scores. It felt like we had that variety of points this game week, of people getting lucky or unlucky, or people just banging or not banging. So yeah. It was good to see, actually, for a change, instead of, oh, wow, I've got 75 points, which is usually a great game week score, and then figuring out, oh, well, okay, the average was 72 points because everyone's got it. So it's been pretty good. Hey, Daff. Double Brentford, maybe. I had thought about going Gallagher to Mbommo and doing Tony, but I watched Brentford. They've still... When do we look at the likes of Tony and Mbommo and think... Okay, the fixtures, look, they've got Burnley, Norwich, and Newcastle. If you're going to double up on Brentford and go attacking or defensive for these 3 games, don't blame you. I think it's fine, especially defensively. But when do we start looking at these 2s and think, I've had enough? Granted, the 2s that they've got is West Ham, Chelsea, and Leicester, but we'll just have to wait and see. But again, I wouldn't be going too deep. Brentford have been impressive. I just wouldn't be going 2 or 3 players deep in my 11 to Brentford, if I'm honest. Hazard is a poor finisher. That's part of the problem. Yeah, but actually, I think he's been given a license to be more creative on the wing. He's cheap enough for us. Yeah, I think Jesus has been fantastic this season. Start Armstrong or Cody. Leaning towards Cody at the moment. I'd go for Armstrong. I mentioned earlier about playing the attacker over the defender, and Cody, I know he scored against Villa the game week before when they pulled it back, and they've just drawn 1-1 at Leeds. I mean, he scored something like 2 goals in 100 and something games, and if you think he's Wolves, Everton got thumped, but they still scored a few goals. And Armstrong, it looks like Borja, the I think it's Albanian striker for Southampton. This guy, Broja, he's out, so Armstrong could be back in. I just think I'd rather play a Saints player against newly promoted Watford, despite them. And again, coming back to, so it's Everton and Watford. They played each other last week. Watford beat Everton at Everton, but there was lots of goals there. If you think Watford's going to get a clean sheet, then yeah, maybe go for Cody. I'd go for Armstrong all day long, if I'm perfectly honest. United boys. Hey, Kiffy, and welcome back, buddy. Sell Rafinha regardless of injury news. No, not against Norwich. He is on my chopping block because similar to what I was saying about Tony, no double-digit holes this season. He is great value. After Norwich, I've got to have him for Norwich. I have to. I think he's going to play, but I have to because Norwich are so bad. They're so bad. The biggest whipping boys possible. After that, I think he's sellable. He really is. He's a lovely player. He's fantastic to watch. I think Leeds have been poor as a team, and I'd rather use his money to. I'd rather use his position to go up or down a player, because I don't think Leeds are going to give me too much against Leicester, Spurs, Brighton. Maybe against Palace, not against Brentford. Then Chelsea, City, Arsenal, Liverpool. Not the easiest. Need a Raya replacement. Thoughts? I've got Guaita. Not been fantastic, but it depends. If you want to go up all the way, then go to a Mendy or a Martinez, right? In the 4.5, 4.6 region, I think you've just got Ramsdale and Guaita as your choices now. But I know they've got City next, which you don't really want to have Guaita for that because I'm considering starting Foster against Southampton rather than Guaita going to Man City. But then Wolves, Burnley, Villa, Leeds. It's not the worst for Guaita, but that cheap goalkeeper area isn't fantastic. Alberto, 109 for no hits. Nice. Thought you might treat myself to Alan for Son for a hit. You've got money in the bank. Whoa. That's an improvement. Son over Alan for sure. Didn't captain Salah because you're a United fan. Football bias ruining FPL. You got to be heartless in this game, man. Yeah. Yep. Because I still remember someone won FPL who was like an Everton fan. I think they were an Everton fan or a United fan. And they never had a Liverpool player because they couldn't bring themselves to having a Liverpool player in. But those were the days when Liverpool finished like 8th. You know, it wasn't that bad to leave him out. If you're leaving out a Liverpool player in today's FPL, especially with Salah in his form right now, wow, brave. You will struggle, I think, because you're not having Trent and you're not having Salah, and they're just ripping it up right now. So, quick review of this game week. Guaita conceded against Newcastle. Double City getting wiped out. I'm blaming Edison for this, guys, because when I was watching it, Man City were dominant. And when Man City are dominating, sometimes I feel Edison loses concentration or he wants to get involved because he's a bit bored. And I could see the one where he saved it and flicked it and it almost went in, and another one when he dived and it went underneath him but somehow bounced over the crossbar, and I thought he's in one of those moods, he's gonna do something daft, and then he gives away a penalty in the last 10 minutes, double clean sheet, gone. Trent, I said he was going to get an attack in return in another stream because I was talking about the half spaces and the amount of time he'll have and cut inside. He almost scored as well. It was a great save from David De Gea, and he walked away with a clean sheet. What a performance. It's so funny because on TalkSport, I think it was TalkSport, you know when they do like a score predictor and it flashes loads of scores and you click on it and it stops on a score? Mine was Liverpool winning at United 5-0. I thought, that's never going to happen, but there you have it. Rafinha coming off early, another disappointing display for Leeds. Really not doing a lot there. I'll come back to the big boys in a minute. Gallagher, fantastic player. If you ask a Crystal Palace fan about Gallagher, they'll say he's important. They'll say he's playing exceptionally well. Who he is playing really well. Not for FPL at the minute. Since he's been dropped back and is in that midfield 3, maybe not the best FPL asset anymore, and he'll be out for Son next game week, and he's on my bench this game week because I've got Man City. Kane looked useless. He did nothing to Mark Antonio, who scored on that corner, and Tony coming on for Christensen, who has a dental problem but should be fine. But again, that's the risk I took. I knew Christensen was going to get benched at times, and that's fine. That's why I've got the likes of Tony, Livramento, Gallagher, all sort of taking up that 11th spot in my side, with Brownhill probably always staying third bench. So let's have a look. I'm interested because, like I said, I'm not seeing this back, but I have mentioned it a lot about how when people saying, oh, people went Mount now because, oh yeah, you got lucky, but Havertz was the obvious call. Now, again, I'm sorry, guys, if you went for Havertz, fine. If you captured him, fine. That is your decision. You took the shot and you missed, and that happens. That's FPL. But I kept saying that centre forward position for Chelsea does not get goals. Salah is in the absolute form of his life. He's stomping all over FPL right now. Doesn't matter who he's against. I know it's form versus fixtures, but he is so good. Liverpool, top of the charts. Man United, bottom in terms of like certain defensive stats like tackling, and top of the charts in things like defensive errors leading to goals. You saw clips of like against Leicester, Harry Maguire just standing there as Leicester score a goal. For me, I was arguing, I was gutted Lukaku got injured, because so many people, when he got injured, went from Lukaku captaincy to Salah, and it would have given me a bigger rank rise, because I was always captaining Mo Salah in this side. But I chose Mount over Havertz on my wildcard, because I always said I was going to bring him in. I was just waiting for the fixtures in the right time. So this is from pre-season, so I'm going to see what I said about this. Let's have a look. I think he's a good option. Grealish goes. I still think he's a really, really good option. And then finally, one that might be a surprise for some people, but I understand the fixtures are not good for Chelsea. I do understand that, but I'm going off the idea of starting with players that you know in good teams who have got good records for the first 8 game weeks when you want a wild card. And I'm going to go with Mason Mount. He's 7.5 million. He starts at Crystal Palace at home, who are changing their entire system, making really good signings, especially the new centre-back partnership. Seems like it could be good for Palace, but a lot of changes, short period of time. I mean, Palace at home for Chelsea is a great fixture. Then they've got Arsenal. I'm not being funny, but Arsenal recently, a mid-table side. And then you've got Liverpool away, which is obviously... And Arsenal got beat opening game of the season against Brentford. Still not just difficult. Arsenal. But here's why I'm just going to go for Mount. And when I was doing the research for this, other names like Jota, like Bowen, they all pop up all over the place, but I don't see a lot about Mason Mount. And when I was doing the research, his stats are crazy. So we'll just, before we get into the stats, so he's almost nailed in a top 4 side. Champions League winning team. Mason Mount is, in my opinion, almost nailed. Now, they do rotate a bit at Chelsea in defence. They have swapped Werner around. They've put Havertz in that false 9 place. They've mixed it up a bit. But Mount seems to be a player that, persistently plays. So he's all...
That's so far so good from pre-season analysis here.
He's on some set pieces. I've seen him taking corners and maybe the occasional free kick, but I'm pretty sure he's on corners. He's constantly improving year upon year, not just stats, but when you watch him play, he's growing into a very, very good player who's also one of the first names I would say on Gareth Southgate's England team sheet. He backs him. So... yes, I understand the fixtures are not good. They've got Arsenal, Liverpool, Spurs, and City in the first 6. But if you're going to wild card in the first 8 and you just want a solid player in a top 4 side, I just think the stats that he puts up are incredibly impressive. So he got...
there you go. If you're going to wild card in the first 6 to 8 game weeks, he's the
147
one.
points, exactly 16 bonus, 6 goals, 7 assists, and he got better and better. He's 2nd for chances created, 5th for big chances created, 3rd for final third successful passes, 4th for goal attempts, which surprised me a lot, 9th for penalty area touches for 7.5 million for a Chelsea player. And again, similar to what I said about Rafinha, he's a player that I just think is going to get better and better and better. So that...
oh, there you go. That's what I was saying in pre-season.
I've always backed Mount. So when people were saying about Havertz and, oh, you're going for Mount, but he's got no form. This is when you now look at long-term form. So when I reeled off those stats from last season about him being top 5 for some real key attacking stats, he was always there. Everywhere I looked, Mount was just, he was just there every single time. So like I said, in the first 6 to 8 game weeks, I was always going to bring this lad in because he is a fantastic option. And if you're looking to buy him, people might argue that it might be too late. I disagree. He's not going to get a hat trick. I never said he was going to walk out there with 24 points, but when he plays in those two positions behind the centre forward, that's where I like to target for Chelsea, and it really paid off for me for this game week. Just catch up with the chat. Thoughts on Ward-Prowse next 3? Not a sexy pick. True, he gets free kicks and penalties though, Matt. But again, no, I just think there's better options out there. Joe, I'm a Bolton Wanderers fan. Pick your shots last year. It was only for Bruno, Salah, Kane, Son. No Trent this year. It's only Salah and Trent. Yeah, and this is it. I have mentioned it before, and it's been clipped and stuff. And I've been saying like, and I even said it before this game week, just permanent captain Salah, because that way, if we all just captain Salah, you've got to try and find your own other players, because we'll all get the same points, because the captaincy now becoming a moot point if we all captain Salah. If you want to go against the grain and try and risk that jump, fine, but don't go crying online saying, "Oh, I'm so unlucky, I'm so gutted because I didn't captain Salah and he's gone and got 2 goals and an assist and my differential blanked," because that's it. Like, there was nothing about Havertz's captaincy that screamed. Yes, he played against Norwich. 7-0, he's unlucky. If you watch the Chelsea games and you look at the stats and you watch that match, Havertz not getting anything was not unlucky. It wasn't, because he was poor. And there's nothing in the stats and nothing in the eye test to suggest Havertz was deserving of any point in that one. Yes, Denver, I saw that about Scholes literally saying when Atlanta came back that before halftime they'll be 3-0 down if they play against that. The same thing, and that's exactly what they did. Pulling out the receipts again, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Because that's it, right? Because I actually don't make that many predictions, or like when I really go out there on a limb and I say, right, this is my plan, or this is my idea, or this is my suggestion. Like, I don't often really throw one out there quite forcefully, but like things like Salah captaincy over Lukaku last game week, choosing Mount, not captaining Havertz, big at the back, things like that. I'll make not many predictions and I'll stick to it. Like, even when I talked about Trent, I thought Liverpool will concede, but I really believe Trent was going to get an attack in return, because it gets spaces in the half spaces and cutting inside. And he almost, like I said earlier, he almost did score. It just winds me up when people just throw out like 100 predictions a week, and then when one comes true, they're just like, "Oh, I told you all, guys. I told you all." But I'll pulling out my receipts to show I did call it. I did, because other people don't, right? They'll just keep doing it and doing it until they get it right, and then we'll never admit that they're wrong. But pre-season called Mount, and pre-game I said Havertz was just not the one. To be fair, bookies' favourites to score was Havertz, and the bookies, yeah, just because the bookies put them as favourites, the bookies do the best odds, but they also throw in, they choose the players as well. So they'll put Salah to score at low odds, right? So you don't really want to bet on it because you won't get a lot of money back. But they'll also throw in Havertz in there because it's not limited supply. They could have made the whole Chelsea team, 2-1 on to score a goal. Right? It's not like, oh, well, he's the top scorer and then he's number 2 and we can't make his odds low for people. It doesn't work that way. Anytime score on first bet. Oh, was that your bet for who? For Salah or for Havertz? Bookies bets are incoming, Mark. but I definitely, guys, I would always go off the bookies, by the way, because they hire proper professionals and statisticians and analysts and everything, because obviously they don't want to lose the money. So I would use bookies odds for sure. Do we think Reece James will play? It's so difficult. It's so difficult with Chelsea. I've got Christensen. He missed last week. He's got a dental problem, but he's back training. He didn't play midweek. I'd be really surprised if he didn't play this week. I really, really would be. Hey, Luke, welcome back, buddy. Oh, Havertz was favourite for both. But like I said, the bookies can choose anyone to. They can choose 2 or 3 people to be poor odds, right? It wasn't just Havertz. I know he was the top one, but I'm sure other ones were poor odds as well. Whose pick was Mount? Can't recall yours or Ted. 5 at the back, ending in game week 11. Ted's had Mount longer than I've had him. Like even in preseason, I said if you walk out in game week 6 to 8, Mount is a good pick. I just happened to get Mount at the time I wanted, at the time that I felt was right. So you can see I got him I got him last week for a 1-pointer because he got rested after the international break. He's just been unlucky with injuries. And then he came back. He played for England and got rested after he came back. So I had a 1 week nothing, and then the next week he's got me 24 points. You took out ESR, Smith Rowe for Havertz, took your cancer off Mount and put it. Oh no, Luke. That is a horror story. A horror story, buddy. So you've lost, was it 13 points Smith Rowe got? Was it 13? 13 points missed out on Smith Rowe. Plus you've got from a 2 points Havertz, or 3 points Havertz. It's over 24. That's a kick in the groin, that one. Sorry to hear that, Luke. All right, let's look forward then. I usually, when I have a good team on paper, it worries me, to be honest, because it means I end up having a bad game week. So Guaita in goal against Man City. Look, tell you what, I'm going to change this now. Now, Guaita against City potentially could get me some save points. But I think City will end up scoring more than 2. Foster could get a clean sheet at home against Southampton. I'm just going to take the punt on that one. We'll see how it goes. Double defence here for City at home to Palace. Again, you've got to be backing Man City in this situation. Every game week you back Man City, but a clean sheet potential here. They must be the highest potential. Them or Liverpool will be the highest potential for clean sheets. The only thing here, I've got him highlighted right now, it's Cancelo. He's played every single minute of football so far. He did half and half. I know it went to penalties, but he did half, and Walker did half as well. I'm worried, and this is why I suggest when you've wildcarded, you have a bench, because don't be surprised if Cancelo doesn't start or Diaz doesn't start. Because you can see 2-0 here against Burnley. Diaz came on for the last 80 minutes. I was furious. I was so upset about that one. Crisis against Newcastle. He's got a dental problem, but should be back. Trent against Brighton. Salah against Brighton. Look, again, Salah's played 90 minutes every single minute. He's absolutely bossing it. Now, they've got Champions League, and then they've got top 4 West Ham, Arsenal coming up. I'm not saying he will be, guys, but don't be surprised if you see a Salah benching coming along, because Mane was benched against United. Can Salah play? He is just an absolute machine, this man. He probably could play 90 minutes of every single game week. Probably, yeah. But don't be surprised if you do see a benching coming along. Mount is also against Newcastle. Norwich for Rafinha if he plays. Keep your eyes out on Prentice's conferences, guys. They are today. So, they've already said Rafinha is a knock. It should be fine. But just keep an eye out again on any updates about that. Antonio against Aston Villa. Aston Villa was so bad against Arsenal. So Antonio is still here. Kane, the right call, I even said this at the time, if you had Lukaku and you were going to sell, the right call was Vardy. You're unlucky. You're unlucky that he got injured and was off at half time. So Kane is still here. He looked poor, but he's just the kind of player that he's just going to score a penalty against United or something and get me 8 points, because he can do that. He's been poor. He's not had a good season. Maybe his heart's not in it or his head's not in it at the minute. But the thing about Harry Kane is he could play badly for 89 minutes and then out of nowhere, he'll get the ball from centre defensive midfield position, run forward and smash it in the top corner from 30 yards, because he's got that quality. That's why he's so highly priced in FPL. That's why he's so highly priced and revered in real life, because split second, he can just turn it on. So I'm not going to take a hit to take Kane out, but it was only ever Lukaku to this, just to have Kane for a couple of weeks, just because I couldn't get Son yet. So simple as that. And then Tony here against Burnley. Yeah, I've got to do it because Burnley are just not playing well. I'm looking at Livramento away to Watford. I just think Southampton Watford just feels like a 0-0. And the next three fixtures are so good. When do we start playing Livramento? Seriously. It's so difficult. But again, I won't be surprised if I see Diaz on the bench, or I see Cancelo on the bench, or Christensen gets another rest, or even Trent has a random. I don't think Trent will, but I wouldn't be surprised if Cancelo doesn't start and comes on as a sub, because that's Pep. But we'll have to wait and see. But my future moves are looking to be something like Gallagher going to Son for me is just a done deal. So it would be Kane. Now, someone who I obviously, like many people, would be interested. It's either Huang or Jimenez. Now, if you've been on this channel before, you know that Jimenez, I call him the Mexican marksman. Big love for Al Jimenez. It's just like if I put Huang in there, because for 5.7 million, I know his stats are just saying that he's extremely clinical, and I know Jimenez is your all-rounder, your 90-minute man. But if I can just pay 5.7 million and get goals instead of paying 7.6 million and getting occasional goals and sometimes an assist, I think it's worth it. Because this leaves me with 2.2 million in the bank. That makes Christensen into a better Chelsea like Reece James. It also gives me money if I want to improve Rafinha to Foden, for example, if I want to make that risk. Man City, not Manchester United. And I could do something like this. So I'd be basically playing James, Trent, Cancelo, Diaz, Mount, Son, Foden, Salah, and then 2 out of the 3 up front. And Antonio's could be on the chopping block because West Ham haven't looked that good attacking in an attacking sense. Neither has Antonio. I know he scored, but it was quite lucky off a corner. It wasn't amazing. And they do have Liverpool in game week 11. But something like this could be happening. If it's not going to be James, I might just stick with Christensen and let me put Foden back to Rafinha. And then it'll just be a straight 2 transfer swap of Kane to Jimenez and Gallagher to Son. I still think it leaves me with like 0.3 in the bank, I think. Let me just do this so you guys can see what it looked like. Son is already in my squad, is he? Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'd have 0.3 left. And again, every week would be Christensen, Trent, Cancelo, Diaz, Mount, Son, Rafinha, Salah, and then Jimenez, Antonio, with probably Tony on the bench and Livramento on the bench. But with how it is at the minute, Rafinha would be my first sub and Tony would be starting because Rafinha next week plays Leicester and then Spurs, and Tony, of course, has Norwich and Newcastle in the next 2. So he's having a good bench. This is what I keep telling people, having a good bench, because at any moment Christensen could get benched, Chilwell could get benched, James could get benched, Aspilicueta could get benched, Cancelo could get benched, Laporte could get benched, Diaz could get benched, Walker could get benched. They all could face rotation. So, yeah, just I'm with the fact that it feels like Salah's a permanent captain right now. It feels to me, and this is something I have said before, it feels to me like any player over 10 million, and I know Son's there at 10.2, but he gives me a second captaincy option if I'm feeling brave, and I think he is worth it. But any player basically over 10 million is no longer worth it if you're just going to captain Salah. That's just my opinion. You can agree or disagree if you want, but that's just what I'm feeling right now. What I could do as well is in a couple of game weeks when Chelsea's fixtures turn and Manchester United's become better, and I know Manchester United have not been very good, but Bruno Fernandes is still posting very, very good stats. He's only 20% owned. We're talking about a player who was the #1 player last season. He's still posting really good stats. He's got 2 assists and 4 goals so far this season. And I know he's expensive, but if I did something like Mount out, Fernandes in, I'd need to find 4 million somewhere. might be a little bit difficult. I'd have to jiggle it about a little bit. But when I'm looking at Manchester United, people are saying, oh, look at the fixtures. We've got like some of the best fixtures you could imagine. Palace, Norwich, Brentford, Brighton, Newcastle, Burnley, Wolves. I'm not spending 12.4 million on Ronaldo. I just don't think I am. I don't think I'm spending this much, because that is a player that I'm probably not going to captain, who could get rotated rarely, but has been benched already this season. 12.4 million, not going to captain him. Why? And they're not even doing good football right now. Not even playing very well. It'd be Bruno. If I was going to choose one player, it'd be Bruno. Or if you want to save some money, like a Greenwood, but yeah, people saying, oh, look at the fixtures for Manchester United, but it's not even that good. Not even that good. Let me just catch up with the chat. Hey Sam, how you doing, buddy? What do you think? -4 for Son and Tony instead of Lukaku and Gray, good idea, or just Lukaku to Tony? See, Son is a long-term pick. I've got a real soft spot for Son, but the thing is, Everton away to Wolves, Gray potentially could get something. I would probably just split it into 2 moves. I'd just do Lukaku to Gray. Lukaku to Tony, and then next week do Son to Gray. Because if you do that -4, you've got to hope Gray blanks, and Son must get a return to make it worth it this game week. So if you think for sure, like Gray's probably not going to get anything, and Son is probably going to get something, make the move. But if you think that, because Lukaku to Tony for me, yes, that is a good move in my opinion. But to take another hit, Son and Gray, I just look at the points. You've got Son against United, which I know Salah was against United, but that doesn't count because Salah's just a whole nother class right now. And then you've got Gray against Wolves. Could Gray get something against Wolves? I think he could. Could Son get something against United? I think he could. But if Gray gets something and Son gets something, you've taken a -4. So you need to think Son versus Gray right now. Also think about money. If it's dead on money, you might have to do it unless you miss out. If you've got like money in the bank and you're not too worried about price rises, I just personally might just take a punt on Gray for 1 more week. I'd be itching to get Son in. I would, for sure, would be itching to get Son in. 7 more people watching. Hit the like button to improve your game week rank. Yeah, cheers, Denver. Yeah, I'm terrible at self-promoting. But thank you, Denver. Yes, like, subscribe if you want. It's up to you guys. Seeing people who did Foden to Havertz. ESR is unlucky. Foden out was a bit mad. People went mad. I think what it was is as soon as Lukaku was declared injured and we knew, and Werner was out injured, it was like, Havertz, I've got to get Havertz. And that was a Twitter bandwagon. For sure, that was a Twitter bandwagon or a YouTube bandwagon or an FPL community bandwagon. Cancelo is love. Cancelo is life. We can't afford to rest Salah to get... The thing is, I think I disagree there, Anderson. I think you can afford to rest Mo Salah at home to Brighton. Firmino, Jota, and Mane up front, you can give him a rest. If you're not winning by 60 minutes, then you can throw Salah on. But you've rested him before. You can't play him every single minute of every single match. 4-point hit to move Lukaku and Townsend to Vardy and Foden. Ooh. Ricky, I'm going to say the same thing about Gray in terms of Townsend. Like, Townsend could get something against Wolves. Is Vardy definitely going to play? Is Foden definitely going to play? That's risky for me, Ricky, if I'm perfectly honest. Vardy and Foden could easily walk out there and get 10 points each. And you walk away with 20 points. Equally, Vardy and Foden could not play this game week. So, again... Think about yourself, Ricky. If you're the kind of guy that wants to throw the die and take the risk, I think Vardy and Foden are very, very, very good moves compared to Lukaku, who I don't think is going to play, and Townsend. yes, I think with a 4-point hit might be worth it. But again, just take it on the chin if you find out both of them are benched, because that's FPL. That's a risky move. Is Kane not a better option than Son against these low block teams? No, because now Kifian's making a good point here. Now, Kifian, tell me if I'm wrong, but people think that when you've got a low block team, Spurs' style, Spurs have no creativity since even like Eriksen left. They've got no creativity. So against a team like Manchester United, Son is amazing because Kane will drop back and they'll counter and they'll hit it over the top to Son. A low block team, so for example, they come across a team that they should dominate. For example, Burnley, Brentford, Norwich, middle to lower table where Spurs are the favourites, they'll drop back defensively. So people therefore make Son a bad option or a not as good option because he can't get in behind because there's no space behind because the defence is playing closer to the goalkeeper. So I'm going to say no just because I think Son's in great form. His stats are good. And I just personally think he's a fantastic player. I'm gutted I don't have him now. Because the only reason I took him out was because I was reliably told he had COVID. So that's the reason why I don't have Xiao Son right now. So is Kane a better option against the low block teams? No, because again, as also take into effect, Kifian, that he's 2 million cheaper than Kane. And Kane's he just doesn't look bothered. He does not look bothered. Lads, we are all too reactive. Maybe, Ian. Maybe. It is true. Maybe we are. But how many times have we seen someone be reactive and then the next week? Like, look at Chilwell. If you were reactive with Chilwell, he scored now 3 goals in 3 games. So if you reacted that first time immediately, you've got a defender that's just got clean sheets and goals. Hey, Ali, welcome back, buddy. You and Shani, right? Hope you're well, buddy. And to be honest, you'll be missing it. I didn't stream last week. And to be honest, guys, I might, because Ted's asked me, I might stream with him again on Monday for Scout, but next Friday should be the delivery date for my daughter. So the chances are this is my last stream for maybe like 3 weeks or something. I might pop little videos up here and there, or if you follow me on Twitter, you'll be able to see. But yeah, the baby should be here next Friday, which is also my birthday. So it's a good double whammy. Chilwell to you is a Lingard territory. Just can't keep these points up. His delta's too high. True. But if he plays, I'm always backing those Chelsea clean sheets and those Chelsea wingbacks. Hey, Anthony. Thanks, buddy. Always good to see you as well, mate. Thank you. You did Martial to Chilwell. Good transfer. Yes. Wolves defender Matt to one of the most informed defenders for Chelsea. Yes. I already answered that. You've been punished as Havertz captain last week. Decided to take some time off FPL. Let's see how it goes. That's good, Ali. Yeah. If you're having a bad game week or it just happens, just especially get off Twitter. Because honestly, like you guys know me, if I have a good game week or a bad game week, I post it, I stream it, I talk about it, I can learn about it, or hopefully you guys learn from mistakes that I make. Because I always say the advice I give or how I play with my own personal team is not what I advise other people. So when I talk about players and stats and buys and stuff, that doesn't mean I do it for my team. I'm more outgoing with my own team. I'll take more hits. I'll be a bit more reckless because the way I play FPL is I try and get number 1 or I end up a million, because that's it. I shoot the shot and I swing and I miss, or I swing and I hit a home run. Like I got 101 points last game week. This game week, with the same team, I could get 20 points. That's just how I play FPL. So the reason why I'm saying that is that if you avoid Twitter, I completely understand it, because everyone on Twitter just posts the good stuff most of the time. Like, oh, I've got these points. Oh, look at my team. Oh, what a game week! Oh, look at this. I've captained Mount this week, and then like if you follow that account and you have a look at like previous weeks, nothing. Or if you have a look in the future, nothing. Like they don't talk about all the blanks that they get. So just remember, people, that's what social media is, right? You look at things like Instagram. People's Instagram accounts are then pictures eating delicious food, or pictures of them on holiday or on a beach, or spending time with family or friends or their pets. They don't, do an Instagram post of them, sitting on the toilet having a dump. They don't post a picture of them in rush hour traffic in the morning. They don't post an Instagram video of them eating toast and cereal, right? They just post the good stuff, and it's the same thing with Twitter. So if you're on a bad game week, just get off it or just ignore it, because it's just going to feel like it's rubbing it in your face. Hey Malcolm, how you doing, buddy? Hammers fan, right? You're on a wildcard this week, thinking of 3 premium defenders plus 2 at 4.5 million. Kovacic has more points than Matt. 2 minutes. Thoughts? Good. I did mention Kovacic on Monday's scout stream, Malcolm, but I'll come back to that in a minute. 3 premium defenders plus 2 at 4.5. I just think 4 big defenders for me. The stats are there, the points are there, the rhythm of life is there. That's the way I'd go. Kifian, odds on Foden bench to save for Champions League. Odds on anyone, any Chelsea player, any City player. I can never, I say this every week, guys. I can predict and I can guess, but we can never know what is happening with a Chelsea or Manchester City lineup. So again, if you're gonna get a player like Foden, know the risks, have a bench option, or just suck it up when you get benched and deal with it, because you made that decision. Anthony, $4.99. I don't know what to say, mate. I've never had a super chat. I don't even have any pop-ups for it or anything, but I appreciate it. I have no idea where that money goes. I think it just goes into my YouTube account, but I appreciate it, mate. I'll read that in a second. Thank you very much. I don't even remember setting it up, but thank you very much, mate. I'll read that message in a minute, because I'll read everyone's anyway. Very kind of you, mate. I can't even use that to have a beer, because I don't even drink. Coming back to Kovacic, yeah, I mentioned it. People called it, there's a little bit of snobbery in FPL, where people will say, oh, that's a casual pick. That's a casual pick. And I did point out his numbers. Is he 5.2 million now, or 5.3 million? 5.3 million, 5 assists, 1 goal. You know what? I'm not going to recommend him, Malcolm, because I think his price is good. I think he's nailed. He does some lovely through balls for the Chelsea attack. I just can't look past double Chelsea defense and Mount or Lukaku or Werner. I want to attack. So for me, an attacking move is like James and Chilwell and Mount, or James and Chilwell and Lukaku, or James and Chilwell and Werner, something like that. So if you want to be a bit more safe, I think he's a much nailed Chelsea player. I just want that attacking prowess and defensive prowess from Chelsea. Price rises this year is going mad. Yeah, we find it really difficult to get predictions this year, I find. The price prediction websites, by the way, never give them any stick, because they do everything for free. They're doing the best with the information that they have, because FPL never releases how these price rises are done. But so, for example, Tony skyrocketing in back to, his price is 6.6, going from 6.3 to 6.6 million now is ridiculous, because he's look at this. He's gone from 6.4 to 6.5. There's 26,000 transfers. How? That is, something's not right. So don't have a pop with those guys, because not doing anything wrong. Kane is lowering his price. Like, yeah, he's 12.5 and now he's 12.1. So I got me a nice little discount there. Hi Rob, is Aspie out? Possibly Dexter. Wait for the press conferences and look at the I always love this. The scout team news video is my go-to, because Neil just puts it all together for a scout stream. Ali, congrats, buddy. Loving the baby news. Yeah, cheers. It's been coming a while. Obviously, like almost 9 months. I mentioned it before, but obviously we all forget. Baby girl. So looking forward to that. And that's why my stream's been later, because helping my wife with a lot of stuff, obviously, because family's got to come first. There are things. You can love football, you can love FPL, but obviously there's more to life than that. Popping little videos as well as popping little babies, multitasking. That's me. I'm good at doing 2 things at once, but no more. Thank you for the help. Your top 40k worldwide. Not me, mate. Not me. All you. All the decisions. You can, join the community, have a chat with the guys here. I take no disrespect, not just for me. The people in the community are free to voice their opinions, and you can disagree and agree respectfully. But people who disrespect or they're just pure mean or whatever just are out. That's why I love the community that we have here, because I'm not bothered about numbers. I never have been. And for the long-term viewers, you guys know that. So Dexter, when I say I appreciate you coming here, I've seen you quite a lot. And if you listen to me or take some of my ideas and adapt it into your own, that's great. But it's all on you, mate. If you've gone and got yourself top 40k, doesn't matter if you've listened to me, doesn't matter if you've adapted my plan, it's all on you, mate. So that's a fantastic rank, and good luck to you, mate. Yeah, thanks for the congratulations, guys. It's she's gonna be she's already £8. She's already like 3,700 grams, 3.7 kg. My wife is not pleased because she's quite a thin Taiwanese woman with a big foreign child in her belly. So I'm trying my best not to make her angry at the minute. Dexter, please check your team out. You're number 41 in the FPL Hall Championship. Got 1%. I'll check that out in a minute, Dexter. Can see Havertz. That's going solid this week. I'm like, yeah, Luke, that would be prime FPL. People rage selling Havertz, people benching Havertz, and then he gets a hat trick this week for sure. So Anthony, thank you so much for the I think it's a super chat. I think that's what it's called. Congrats on the baby and early happy birthday. Love the content. You're officially different, but not for the sake of being different. Love that. Yeah, cheers, Anthony. Yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier about the advice I give. I look at the stats, and when people ask me a question, I'll give them an answer. I'll tell them why, either opinion or stats or eye test or all 3. And it's up to you what you do with it. That's what I was saying to Dexter about his rank. That was on him. He can ask questions, he can ask you guys, he can ask me, and he makes his own plan. I make these out-of-the-box plans, or I try and look at it from another angle, and then I might not even do it. I might even try another angle, or I'll say, okay, guys, don't take hits, and I'm off to go make a -12, because I know how to give suggestions, but then, like I said, when I play with my own team, I just play my own way. It's a game, and that's why my ranks are. What rank am I now? 630,000. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Top or nothing. People who play it's I'm gonna play it safe and finish 90k. No, come on, live a little. I wanna go top or go home. That's how I play. Alberto, it's just a game at the end of the day. Yeah, I've just said that. I've seen some people on Twitter saying their mental health is affected by bad game week. That's a sign you should stop playing. Alberto, that's I think a valid point. I can't disagree with that, to be honest, mate. I agree. If you're doing something if people are like, oh, I didn't captain Salah and it's affected my my mental health, then I think you're right. That is a problem. And it's a problem that a lot of people have spoken about this week about, oh, I did this and it's not good, so I need to get off Twitter, or I need to stop playing FPL, or I need to go and do something. I completely understand. But if you're taking FPL that seriously, I do think that there could be a more deep-rooted issue there. A bigger problem, because if I'm playing a game of FIFA and someone beats me in the 90th minute, yeah, I'll slap the desk, or I'll I'll alt F4 and I'm not playing this game anymore. I have a little bit of a paddy, but I get over it in a minute. If I'm having a bad game week, an awful game week, and trust me, I've had some bad game weeks before, I'm not happy about it. And I'll be a bit grumpy about it for a day or two, but if it's really seeping into your life or really affecting your health, then I agree. Maybe not stop playing, but change your perspective. Make it ridiculous. Just don't play it seriously. Just say, right, for example, I've had ideas before where I'm just going to get British players. I'm going to do a British FPL team. Do it, make it so, okay, from now on I can only have teams who play in red kits. Do you know what I mean? Just make it fun. If it's that bad and it's affecting you that much, and your rank is, you think it's that poor, just change the game. Make it your own game. Say, right, I'm going to have England FC. I'm just going to choose English players. Make it interesting. Hey, Aaron, welcome back, buddy. Good to see you, mate. Awkward position where you've got Diaz, Cancelo, Rudiger, Chilwell, and Livramento, but you want Trent for Diaz. I'm going to say yes, Aaron. I'm going to say yes, because Cancelo is the more adventurous one. Rudiger and Chilwell are doing so well for Chelsea. It's between Rudiger and Diaz. Diaz is a little bit more expensive. It's between Rudiger and Diaz for me. Man City's got some good fixtures. Oh, United, Everton, West Ham. Yeah, I'm going to say Rudiger. Chelsea are so... City's got the stats, but Chelsea are getting the clean sheets. So I'd say Diaz. On a different fantasy football hub, still haven't said anything about the hacking. You like some of their videos, but they're brushing on me and Shani will talk about it. Ali, I've posted about it again on my post about it again. We can talk about it here because this is my stream and I can talk about what I want. So again, this was an example of a comment that was put on Will's return. Again, guys, I've got nothing personal about Will. I didn't even really think about Hub before this breach. I knew you've got Scout, you've got Hub, you got Fix. They were like the big three websites. It was I don't work for Scout. I don't get paid for Scout. I work with anyone. For me, it's the people. So when like Az and Ted were talking to me and saying, "Hey, you want to come and stream with us?" I was like, "Yes," because I know you. It wasn't because I'm loyal to a company. It's because these two guys who I massively respect in the FPL community world asked me to go and do stuff with them. I was like, yeah, for sure I'm going to do this because that's incredible. If any of the popular or FPL people that I like, so for example, who got the assist? The podcast lads, fantastic, incredible. I could never dream of going on their podcast because their stat knowledge is so ridiculous. I couldn't keep up with them, but they're fantastic. If they ever asked me to talk to them, I'd be honored. Honored feels like a bit creepy to say, but you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, wow, these guys want me on there. Planet FPL. Sujin James, they're so good at football knowledge and they're so good at FPL knowledge as well, that if they asked to talk and discuss stuff, that they don't work. It's not about the companies for me, it's about the people. So nothing against Hub or Will specifically, but comment, this had like 10 likes or something at the time. But every single comment on a Hub video now that is positive gets wiped. Like, they delete it. And they've done it when I've respectfully left a comment saying, "Hey guys, you've not mentioned this, please, is there an update?" Deleted. And I spoke on Twitter, and James, Fantasy Football Hub James Copeland, replied saying, "Yeah, I didn't want it on the video. I didn't want it in the comments. It wasn't the right place to discuss it." Okay, so where are you going to discuss it? You can't. Okay, and then you can't say, you keep, so all the messages now on this Hub video is just like, "Great to see you back, got my support, we love you so much, blah 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 blah." Every negative comment gets deleted. I only delete comments off my videos that are spam, like a bot's posted it, or it's something like really like disrespectful, like racism or sexism or something like that, and I'll delete that from my channel. But if someone comments on my stream or my YouTube channel and they say something like, "Oh, you're wrong about Alonso," or "You're wrong about Chilwell, he's never going to do this," or whatever, I won't delete that. That's just ridiculous. So I have posts about Hub. Ali, you're right. There's this one, and I did mention here, FPL Connected, they have their own website, and in this thread, they talk about all the stuff about why they need investment, and he's been putting his money in. Just going through all of the information about this website, and I, bit tongue-in-cheek, sort of said maybe Fantasy Football Hub should take notes on transparency, honesty, and openness from this FPL company, because again, we've just not had it. So there you go. So you're still completely right, Ali. Still getting nothing from Hub. I also want to point out, I did try to. I reached out to Big Man Bakar, who's a content creator for Hub, and he let me scroll down. He posted this. Here we go. Reached out to him saying that he posted this response to Reddit. Now, again, this is a situation where you've got a company or people who are very, very popular on Twitter, but Reddit, it's not about, you don't follow people, right? It's a different social media. People on YouTube, there's some of you guys who are not on Twitter and you're not on Reddit, but when you've got your massive 80,000 followers on Twitter, but you don't post there, but you post on Reddit where you don't have like followers on Reddit, that's wrong. And then I discussed some of the points that Big Man talks about here, saying, he was silent and he just works. It wasn't up to him. It's up to senior management. It's disheartening to read about silence and things being swept under the carpet. And he doesn't do it for the money. So here I'm saying about, it is silence. It has been swept under the carpet. And I had an honest comment, and I said, I do understand that you say it's not about the money, but you post a lot of advertisement and a lot of links. Now, if you are good at FPL and you're talented, you deserve to get paid. Good on you. If companies want to sponsor you, that's fine. But you can't say money has no influence when you're earning money from it. And if you're promoting as much as he promotes or anyone promotes, money does have it. You can say, I say it right here. Not, he doesn't do it for the money. He could put it, he said, he says in his quote here, I haven't put my threads behind a paywall despite what so many people in the community have suggested. Fine, but what has that got to do with Hub and remaining silent over it? Nothing. And I say it's not about the money. He says it's not for the money. I'm not doubting he loves FPL. But money does have an influence here. Your content could be behind a paywall, as many people have suggested, but you don't. And I do a shrug, like, so what? What's that going to do anything? You advertise for a lot of companies. I say I've got no problem with people earning from FPL, but he's earning money from Hub. He promotes Hub to his 80,000 followers. It says, get my stats from here, join Hub from here, but you remain silent about it. That for me is wrong. And if you feel disheartened by comments saying about silence, I said, well, think about the 66,000 plus people who had their data breached. I'm so sorry you feel disheartened, but you can't sit there with 80,000 followers. And it gets to a point where it's not the creators' fault. I know they work with them, but if this happened on the reverse and this was Scout, I'd be one of the first people investigating it and asking questions about it, and because you guys would be saying to me, hey Rob, what's going on at Scout? Like, why are you not saying anything? You're streaming, you're talking to us, and you're streaming on Scout, and you're not saying anything about this day. I would be the first person to be like, hey guys, whoa, what is going on here? People are angry, people are scared, people are frustrated. You're not saying. I would be out. I'd be either on the stream saying this is wrong. I don't know what's going on, guys. I'd be on it. I'd be completely open. And Yeah, it's not up to the creators, but it is. Because if you're there saying, join Hub, click this link, become a member through me, and you're promoting them, but then remaining silent when the people are asking you about the thing you're promoting, that is your responsibility. If I sit here and I say, guys, join www.letshavefunfpl.com, great website, do this, join this, do this, and you go ahead and you join that, and there's a big data breach, and then you come back to me and you say, Rob, what's happened here? Like, my data's gone or my password's been leaked, and I don't say anything, and you still see me posting let's have fun fpl.com, join through this link, guys, and you're like, whoa, Rob, you've not answered my question. You're telling me to join this website. I've joined the website. There's been this big problem. Can you find something out for me? Can you help me out? Silence. Here's my latest thread, guys. Here's my new video. Don't forget, I get all my stuff from letshavefunfpl.com. And you're there still sitting there saying, dude, you work for this company. You send links for this company. You suggest people to join this company. And then you release this comment saying it's disheartening about silence and swept under the carpet, when it is silence and it is being swept under the carpet. And it doesn't matter if you're the content creator. You're right. As a content creator, you don't have the power to affect the company. This is true. But you have the power to not work for that company. And you have the responsibility, and this is the point that I made in my videos and in my Twitter threads, you have the responsibility to your followers, the people who put you in with their support, the people who gave you the follows and the support and the subscriptions and the Patreons or whatever that they are doing to make you more known in the community, for you to get that job with Hub or Scout or whoever in the first place. Your first responsibility is to those people. So when I did my social media responsibility post about these big accounts, people were like, don't blame the creators, but there is something to be said for those creators. There is something to be said, because they still have a voice. We don't know anything. Then come out and say that. Come and give your opinion. I've still got messages that are being read and not replied to from Hub creators where I've contacted them and I've said, why have you stopped following me? And why are you ignoring my private messages? Read, no reply. Okay, then I'll make it public. I'm giving people a chance to reply and find out information, because people send me information about, and like the private chats and stuff that they have. So I know that they've told them to be nice and nice to each other. Be nice and nice with each other, guys. I know that they've said that. The content creators have been told to be nice to each other. But then you've got to take that responsibility to yourself to be like, no, this isn't right. This is wrong. And people, why are you doing this? Why? Because it's the right thing to do. Like, so there's like 36 or 35 people or whatever in this chat now. And I know a lot of you guys in this chat, week in, week out, for a year or 2 or 3 years. So I won't scroll too far, but Denver, Ali, Matt, Aaron, Luke, Krista, all the names, and Dexter, people I keep seeing coming back. My responsibility, my first responsibility is to you, is to my community, the ones who give me the initial support to put me where I am today. So it still winds me up, guys, that not only now are we still coming across silence, still no updates since October 10th. So 19 days ago, comments, any negative comments or comments about the breach getting deleted from everything that they make. You reach out to people on here and they still don't reply, but then they post on other platforms, some disheartened about silence. And then when you ask them about it, you're met with silence. It's absolute nonsense. And then when they say it's not the creator's fault, you're right. It's not their fault, but you choose who you work for. You look at the big accounts that no longer are, they don't have hub in the bio. So I got blocked by Ben Dinnery. Never even mentioned him. Never even spoke about him ever on Twitter. But he blocked me because he was connected to Hub. Hub's not in his bio anymore. Hub's not in Holly Shan's bio anymore. Hub's not in FPL General's bio anymore. No one's talked about it. Oh, they just want it. And I've not seen him do any content for Hub anymore. Silence. Ask him about it. Silence. Don't know what to say. Hey, Shani, welcome back, buddy. Hey, Chris as well. Wow. 2 long-term boys joining the chat. Yeah, just Ali mentioned just about Hub, and I said a couple of days ago again, I brought out Big Man Bakar's message about being upset about people saying he's sweeping under the carpet on Reddit. Oh mate, another super chat. This is ridiculous. I don't know where this goes, guys. You don't have to donate to me. I appreciate it. I'll have to check where it goes, guys, because at the minute I have no idea where that money's going. Well, thanks, Shani. Just reading the chat. Congratulations on order. Welcome to the Dad Club. Probably buzzing for you and family. Yeah, it's gonna be a little girl, mate. Likely next Friday. Can't wait. I can't wait. Obviously, I'm a little bit scared. I think that's just normal. But yeah, if we want to use the last part of the chat, if you guys don't know about the whole Hub thing, or you have any questions or things that you want to talk about, but this is what I recently talked. So Will's back doing his videos for Hub. He mentions it at the start and says like, yeah, we got breached. I'm really sad about it. But anyway, you know that Jeremy Clarkson meme? What is it? Clarkson meme. This one. This one. Oh no. Anyway, it felt like that. Oh, we've been breached, guys. I'm really gutted about it. Anyway, here's my team, guys, for Game Week 10. Yeah, come on, mate. Come on. Yeah, so he's not saying anything on Twitter to his 80,000 followers. Got nothing against Big Man. This is it, guys, right? If any of you guys can cast your minds back, Big Man Bakar, when he was first starting out, like I think it was like 2 years ago when I found his threads, and I put him on here and I asked people to follow him, and he'd message saying like, oh, thank you, thanks for being, you know, saying nice things about my thread. I was like, you deserve it, mate. These threads are excellent. Really good work, buddy. Like 2 or 3 years ago, wherever it was. And boom, no longer follows me. Every tweet he does has loads of advertisements and doesn't respond to anyone about that. He just talks about this on Reddit and that's it. There you go. And the other comment was about, Will back doing videos, mentions it for 30 seconds, the breach, and they just still delete any, if any, I'm not saying go and do it, but if any message is on a Hub video about the breach, it's deleted. And you'll see it's got like 5, 10, 15, it'll be one of the most liked comments, and they'll delete it, and they'll just leave all of the positive messages. It's absolutely ridiculous, absolutely insane that it's like they think people are stupid to just think that there's no negative messages here. Let me catch up with this. See, Denver was 41st in my championship. No, not Denver. It was Dexter, wasn't it? Oh, I wonder. The person who's top is 542. Nice. I'm on top. Nice. Good on you, John Shepherd. Top of the Hall Championship. And 542 overall rank. Good stuff, mate. Well done. I'll put Denver's team up. Oh, Denver, there's 2. Dexter, sorry, no. Oh, Matt's there. Matt. Hyung-Song Win. Almost right up there. This is 41. I don't know which one's yours. She's got 1 point something in the bank, so it must be this one. This one's yours. Look at that in a minute. Oh, Ali, yeah. If you made a video, you'll never have known about it. So thank you for that as well. Video from the owner of the channel was worse than ever. See you get abused for it, so you need us. Yeah, yeah. I do get a few unsavory comments or messages, mate. That's it. But that doesn't bother me. It just makes me think I'm right, or more right, to be honest. When I say something, I was like, well, he's not said it here, and he's not done that there. Oh, you've not done that. It's like, please just check what I said earlier. I've had some of the messages I've had, guys, are crazy. So it's 8:30 p.m. here, right? And it'll be like 3 a.m. my time, and they'll be like, what you say about that, eh? And then after about 10 minutes, they'll be like, see, won't even comment back to me. And it's like 4 a.m. my time. It's like, dude, I'm not answering because I'm asleep. And I don't live on Twitter to respond to everyone. Like, I reply to as many people as I can. And then they don't. And then when I'm saying, well, hold on, I can reply to all your messages, but then you're not having to go at them for not replying to any of mine. I've forgotten how many times over the last decade you put your FPL account into the 21 termination mode and react to. Oof. Don't delete it. Like I said, just make FPL fun. Just make like a blue team only FPL side. Christensen out for Chilwell, Rafinha for Foden, job done. Guys, look, I just wouldn't be selling. I get why people want to sell Rafinha. He'd be on my chopping block, but he's got Norwich and they're so bad. Rudiger looks like a monster now. He was in the final third a lot. Yeah, Rudiger does that. When Rudiger almost gave an assist to Lukaku when it was called offside, I was so happy because it was a goal and assist from my two players. But Rudiger's the kind of guy that he's just going to launch forward, and one time every 10 he's going to bag a goal. WWE Hub versus WWC Scout versus AEW. I like it. Never bring it up because I'll say if I want the issue just for a reason. Just got with favorites on Hub. The thing is, Denver, like I said, I've got nothing. I'm not even being funny. I never watch Hub stuff. I would watch Scoutcast on like a Tuesday and like Breakfast Club, and I listen to Planet FPL and Who Got the Assist. And Who Got the Assist are actually affiliated to Hub. So I was disappointed that they also didn't say anything, but good support and well wishes to Will for that. So when it's stuff like Will and Fergie and James, I don't personally know. I never watched their stuff. It wasn't even about them. It was about the situation that they were terrible with. And the money, hundreds of thousands of pounds, guys. Hundreds of thousands of pounds. Where has it gone? Including like a version of crowd fundraising. All this money, where has it gone? Obviously not on internet security. Fantasy franchise IPOs. 70,000 people's information was hacked and pretend like it's okay. Hub is the victim. They're charging people for the content and the other explanation was a joke. Ali, I'm not going to yeah, I agree. And I've already, we've talked about it at large, and I've talked about it in videos, and I've talked about it on Twitter, a lot on Twitter. And yeah, they were hit with a breach. They are also victims, but the fact that they are still silent about it, and that where's that money gone? Because it's not on internet security. And when people have come out saying, I messaged them about these flaws in security and just getting blocked, is just phenomenal. It's phenomenal. If he had said that the money does affect things, you'd have respected him. Yeah, Ian, you're going back here to Big Man's thing. Say it. Just that comment actually did get to me. I do it for free. It's never about the money. FPL is my passion. And that's why I don't put my threads behind a paywall, despite so many people suggesting it to me. That is just not right. And threads behind a paywall. I love FPL. For me, if you want to donate, so I've had, for the first time ever, I've had 2 people donate to this stream. I massively appreciate that. I never would ask for it, or I never would expect it. And again, I'm not doing anything to get that money, like promoting stuff. I do these videos and these streams for free. But to say a thread could be behind a paywall, like, honestly, do it then. Do it. No longer post on Twitter any of your threads. Put it all behind a paywall and see how long that popularity lasts. Because I guarantee you start to see threads back on Twitter. Because you can't put threads behind a paywall. Like, I would pay for like Scout to access the members area to get stats and heat maps and stuff like that. I would not pay money to access a thread. Maybe people would. And if they did, then that's perfectly fine. But then again, don't tell me it's not about money when you promote so many things. Promoting so many things. Every single tweet now is linked. So don't tell me it's for free. Don't tell me it's about it's just for the fun of it. So this latest thread, boom, first thing in the thread, Fantasy 5. The first post in the thread is an advertisement. Boom, Fantasy 5. But he does it for the love. He did, like I said years ago when I said, guys, check out this guy's threads. They're incredible. He might be a really lovely guy. That's fine. I'm not having to go at him as a person, but don't tell me it's not about the money and you do it for the love of the game when every single thread or every single post has the sponsorship. Because it's not true. It's not. And then again, I'm not getting personal. I'm pointing out massive holes here to say it's for this and it's not. Retweeted himself. He's retweeted his own tweet with the advertisement again for Fantasy 5. Yeah, and again, I've got nothing against if people want to earn money and people get money from FPL. I get it, but own it, admit it. Right? If that is your income, which I don't even know if it is, but he is getting income for it. But if you're earning from it or it's your job, then take it. So we all know, like, Andy, Let's Talk FPL is like the biggest FPL content creator, and he smashes out so many things, and he'll pop his Patreon, but that's it. Like, he doesn't force it all the time, and he does loads of all of his stuff is basically for free, and you can join his Patreon. And he might do, like, during his video, he'll be like, right, this is sponsored by, today's video is sponsored by whatever company sponsored him for that video. That is fine, but he's never denied it. And I completely admire people who are brave enough to make it their job. But then when people say, like, you're silent about this, and you come out and say, oh, I wasn't silent when you were, and it's not about money, but it is, it's hypocritical. It's being hypocritical, isn't it? This is all from the thread that started with a Fantasy 5. Oh, there's another one. More Fantasy 5. Retweeting himself again. Fantasy 5. Bottom. So here's where I'm coming back to, guys, right? Last one in this thread, data taken from fantasyfootballhub.co.uk/bigmanbakar/73. That's his affiliate link to Hub. So you cannot promote a website, and then when that website or company has problems and people ask you about that website, you cannot get all high and mighty and say, I'm disheartened by people. It's so disheartening reading comments saying it's silenced and swept under the rug. It's not my responsibility. It's with the higher upper management. My stuff is taken from this website though, guys. You should join it. Click on my link below. You've got you're responsible. If you're promoting something, you do have some responsibility. And then if the thing that you sponsor has a major error or does something wrong, you break the link. You separate from them. Think of Nike or Adidas when they sponsor athletes and the athlete does something wrong. The company will come out and say, we're severing ties because this is not acceptable. Works both ways. You could come out and say, I'm going to step away for now from Hub until we get more clarity about the situation. Just took someone brave to do it. And they've not. instead saying, don't pick on me, I'm just a content creator, even though I'll still promote the website and be silent about it. Retweeting here, here's some information, boom, link to Draft Hound. Another one straight after, more at this company, Draft Hound. Another Fantasy 5 link. Another Draft Hound link. Fantrax link. Don't tell me it's not about the money. Don't tell me money is not an influence and you do it for the love of the game when you do this. Truth. Okay, so the chat. Hub are just a bunch of chances. The hacking was one thing, anyone could get hacked, but what was real was incompetence and malpractice on a massive scale. I agree, Alberto, and these are comments that I've already said many times to either angry responses or silence from those in charge, or just getting things deleted or blocked. But they can block my comments, and they can block me, and they can delete comments, but they can't hide from the law and the breaking of data law. They can't. They can try. Just takes one person to report them to the correct authorities, and there's an investigation. You can't hide from that. Been thinking, what's the latest on the Hub Silence? Just tuned in, so you look like miss updates. We'll watch you back. Yeah, Chris, you actually came at the perfect time, because obviously we're talking about FPL for all the rest of it, but there's been no updates since October 10th. Only James said anything vaguely something like sorry, well, Hub creators removed Hub. Yeah, those creators did. Holly's removed it, Ben Dinnery removed it, but still does stuff for Hub, and General removed it. And I've not seen Holly, Shand, and I've not seen FPL General on Fantasy Football Hub yet. Maybe they're just waiting for it to die down, and then they'll pop back in. Ian's 40 years of age and adopted. You've fought for the last 20 years to get your background, even date of birth. These guys lose it and think nothing of it. And that's it. People are just like, yeah. I'll try not to get wound up, Ian. But a lot of it, like when people are saying, oh, it's your fault. You should have had a better password. No, it doesn't work like that. If my password is really good and I give it to you and you lose it, doesn't matter how good my password is, it's gone. And also, oh, it's not even important. It's your fault for using this for using the same email address. Get real. I don't use 10 different email addresses for 10 different things. So I've got Netflix, I've got Spotify, I've got Facebook or Meta or whatever it's called. I've got Twitter, I've got YouTube. I don't have 10 different emails and 10 different passwords for 10 different things. Of course I don't. The average man doesn't. And then for them to say to you, it's not important. You don't have the right to tell anyone else it's not important. If someone, I genuinely got messages from people saying it upset them, it affected their mental health, it's made them worried, they've been stressing about it. If one person says, this has made me feel really uncomfortable, it is making someone feel uncomfortable. You can't say, well, it shouldn't make you uncomfortable. That's your problem, not mine. No, it's not. You're standing that people are still even using Hub. Yeah, Bobby, check the video comments, mate. Seriously, especially the one where Will comes back. Every single comment is just like, we love you. Thank God you're back. You're our hero. Don't let them get you down. People just have to get you. No, they're not. They're not out to get you. You've made a huge error. Massive incompetence. Borderline fraudulence, but the fact that you're registered as a data expert in the eyes of the government, and you've not done anything. You've got hundreds of thousands of pounds in turnover and crowdsourced funds, and you've spent less than 4,000 on computer equipment. I asked an in-house data expert. I used to handle them and set up for clients, and when he was talking about servers, he'd have maybe get to 5 to 10 clients before they'd have to get an external server to store the information, and saying about how, like, so when I asked him, like, you know, what if I told you like the entire computer equipment and everything for 70,000 people was under £4,000? And he just burst out laughing. He was just like, we'd spend that in a month? Where's the money? That's another question I ask. Where's that money gone? That's why when I made my outline about the idea of what the company structure must be, it must be money in for membership. So they give like up to 50% for affiliate links. So for those of you that don't know, if you join Hub from one of those affiliates like Big Mamba Car or whoever works for Hub, they can get 50% of that. And Hub has tiers. Like one of the tiers, like you've got like £2, £5, £10, £20, £50, £100, whatever the tier is, right? And some of them get 50%. So you can see why they push it so hard. So what my theory for their business product, their business structure is, because when they started a couple of years ago, they had nothing. So when Scout started way back when, they've had people that's grown with the game and became popular within FPL and therefore followed Scout because the name was there. These guys, Hub came out of nowhere with 3 years ago, and they had to throw money about to get the big names on board. And what I think has happened is all that money's come in and they've just paid more money to creators to get them to be exclusively with Hub. So they didn't have a long history. They didn't have people. So for example, Scout has got Mark, right? He's one of the best ever FPL managers. He's very, very popular. He seems like a really great guy. And they had him naturally. Whereas Hub has, when they started, had to pay to get those people in. So the business structure, it seems like, is a lot of the money that was coming in from the likes of memberships was just probably going straight out to content creators. But money on the books is there, and less than £4,000 on equipment. Where's the money? Hundreds of thousands of pounds. Where's it gone? It's just another question that's not been answered. Ben used to be a really fun guy to interact with, but something happened recently, specifically during the season break. Maybe it had to do with Fantasy 5 or who scored. Yeah. I don't know. And I know we had a pop at Andy recently for Andy saying something about an injury, and he had a pop and everyone's just like, Ben, what are you doing, mate? But I didn't even see it. People had to tell me about that because he blocked me. Never even spoken to him. Don't even know. It's his problem. But again, if people want to earn money from it, that is purely up to them. But then don't say it's not about money. Hub was exposed and then they doubled down to try and deny it. Hush it up and play it. Don't waste your time with people like that. Yeah, well, they came out in the morning, said it was fine, and 12 hours later, 14, 15 hours later, they said it. Yeah. Get trained up for FPL early age. I'm not going to do that, Chris, because you'll probably beat me. Block Shani. It's massive. Cool. Like I was there, we had no idea she hadn't posted. I can't believe they're back putting content on YouTube without even addressing it. Yeah, he Will came back and he addressed it for 30 seconds and then just moved on. And deletes any comments that ask him about it. But open honesty and transparency, guys. That's what it is. By deleting anyone that asks questions or giving them silence or telling their content creators to just keep promoting and praising each other's work. But, you know, open, honesty, transparency. Let's just have a look at Dexter's team because he did comment a while ago. He's got 1.2 in the bank. Ooh. As Piloquetta comes into this back line instead of probably Saw. I'd Ben Rama 6.5, 7. Ben Rama to Mount. I mean, I'm a big Mount fan. Ben Rama to Mount, maybe. You can afford it. You've got 1 point whatever in the bank. I think Mount 7.5. I'd play Diaz, Trent, Cancelo, Aspilicueta. Would I play Smith Rowe? Maybe. Salah. Vardy, Antonio, Jimenez play. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's just your 10th man. West Ham's got Villa. Maybe roll it. maybe roll it. You can't do SAR to mount, can you? No, you're 0.1 million short. You could have done SAR to mount. 6.27. Yeah, 7.4. That's really unlucky, that, mate. Honestly, if I didn't know what to do, I'd say roll a transfer. That'd be my suggestion, Dexter. If in doubt, roll it. Because if you take Ben Rama out or you take SAR out and they do something, you'll be upset. You'll be annoyed about it. You'll kick yourself. You watched mine and Ted's video. Love the series you two do, and how much you back Salah captain. I switched the captain from Salah after having it on him all week to Havertz in the last hour. My God, it hurt. You had to take yourself away for a couple of days. What, Chris? It is unlucky. You took a shot. It didn't land. If it landed, you'd have been here saying, "Whoa, look at this, Havertz! What a captaincy! You win some, you lose some." It's just funny that you watched it and you backed him all week, and then it just feels like you saw my point and was like, well, sod that, I'm going to take it off Salah if Rob's going to captain him. Denver, your comment was deleted, of course. Chris, get over it, mate. Come on, mate. It's a new game week. On the rise, Chris. Will is meant to be a founder of big companies acting extremely professional and mature. Yeah. No disagreement. What do you think about Will's fake tears? It got you laughing. Well, to be honest, Ali, it could have been real. It could have been. But here's the truth, right? If you're a founder, owner of a company and something big like that happens, you need to do a professional response. Go cry on your own time. Be gutted on your own time. But then when you need to speak to your clients, you've got to do it in a professional manner. Again, I sound heartless when I say that, but it's true. If you've had something so serious happen, could you imagine if I don't even know who the CEO of Apple is right now, but like Zuckerberg doesn't have tears. Jack of Twitter. Could you imagine if something like this happened at Twitter and he just posts a video of him crying? It's not good. Ali deleted his account after Captain Havertz. Did you, Ali? You didn't delete your team, did you? Tell me you didn't delete your team because you captained Havertz. You was 10th and dropped down a lot. Yeah, I saw, Matt. I saw your team in the championship. Here you are. Bench boost. Oh, Matt, you kept this one quiet, didn't you, my friend? Oh, I shouldn't laugh. I'm sorry, mate. I'm sorry. Oh. Well. A 5-point bench boost. Why did you bench boost? We'll talk, Matt. We're going to talk about this in a minute, mate. William, love how frank you are on this topic. It needs to be called out. William, I'm like the only guy that has been calling stuff out. And when it started on Twitter and I was calling it out, I was the only one. And then I started getting messages from some accounts that just wouldn't publicly say it. One massive account that I respect that I won't out, when I messaged them, they had the decency to reply to. I made a document with all the evidence and information that I've collected and kept people anonymous who wanted to be anonymous. And I said to them about their responsibility. I said, look, you're not connected to Hub, but did you not feel any responsibility to your followers who could be a member of Hub to help them out? And they were just, or to explain why you think Hub had been wrong. And they privately told me that Hub was wrong, but they didn't feel like they had to do it because everyone could see that Hub was wrong. And they didn't want to put the boot in when they were down. And I had to explain, like, but here's the problem. People don't see that Hub have done anything wrong. So when you're saying, oh, people, I don't need to say Hub have been bad because everyone knows that they've been bad. And I just had to, like, so there's this huge, very well-respected account that I'm talking to, not connected to Hub, and they're just like, I didn't have to say it because everyone already knows. I'm just like, no, they don't. And having that person's name with the weight behind them coming out and also saying, guys, this is wrong, we need to look into it, would have just been a lot of help. And finally other people started asking questions, like Boona was asking questions, and then Lynn, after going against me at the start about the social responsibility, she started to ask questions and finding out that, they're not answering me either. And there's some things I'm pointing out that aren't right too. But yeah, people just aren't calling it out. It's scared of upsetting the big boys or getting shunned. I was worried. I even said like that my neck was on the line because I'm so happy that Ted and the likes of Az asked me to go on Scout streams, because it's a really big thing. I've always respected Scout, and for me, like I said earlier, it's about the people. And I even said, like, look, I'm not going to be surprised if they turn around and never ask me to come back, because I'm like a troublemaker, or I'm upsetting their friends or people that they meet up with or do collabs with or something. And that was the risk that I took, because I said it was for my community and for everyone else, to call it out, because it was the right thing to do. Like I was saying earlier, it's not your responsibility or fault for what happened, but it is your responsibility to keep on working with them or to stay silent about it. And people still don't call it out. Just let it slide. Don't forget to drop a like, guys. Sorry for the letters, but just a reminder. Yeah, cheers, Shani. I never do that. Oh, I will never apologize for being a Bolton fan. Because you wait, in 10 years when we're winning the Premier League, no one can ever call me a Glory supporter. You can always vouch for Rob always responding when you ask for advice or taught him on Twitter. Yeah, I always try and respond to people. The only time I've like blocked or muted people is when they're just being outright like abusive towards me. Like the point holes in my argument or disagree with my ideas or decisions, well, that's fine. But you just come at me with like some pretty aggressive comments and stuff, then I have every right to block you. I'm not a business owner. I'm not doing stuff for money. I can block whoever I want. And the only time I muted people as well is when they'd ask me a question and I provide them with the answer and evidence, and then they just ask me the same question 4 or 5 times, and I'd just be like, I've just told you. So yeah, Norwich equals bad, but Leeds are bad. But Rafinha is good. Let's work on simple logic. I like that. Could you imagine if we just did this all the time? This equals bad. This equals good. So Norwich equals bad. Leeds equals bad. Rafinha equals good. Rudiger wants that 200k a week. That would motivate anyone. Yeah, and he's a real like cult hero. They love him down at Chelsea. Sorry, I just scrolled down and missed it. The thing is, doing it for money business is cool, but why do they say it's not for money? It's like no one has an issue with making money until you say I'm not doing it for money. Yep, Shani, I said the same thing earlier. I'm hoping Roy sees that message that he's going to tell you they're being an idiot. Might listen to a fellow hairline. Yeah, I don't know why my hairline and my hair is such a hot topic this week. Yeah, Ali, I'm going to check. Ali's not replied yet. Ali, if you've deleted it, undelete it, please. It's not worth deleting your entire history for. Affiliate disclosure is becoming a boomer thing. Young folks nowadays are very used to ads without transparency and hidden affiliate links. So bombardment of ads is part of web life. True, but you have to you can hold people to account. They've got to put hashtag ad. At least Andy James says if you want to join their Patreon, even tells you only start of the month. Yeah, stuff like that, Denver. And again, like if people want to do Patreons or memberships, I'm never against it. Never against it. If you're really popular or people really want to hear what you got to say and you put your time and your effort and you think that has got some monetary value, I've got no problem with that whatsoever. I don't. But like Shani said and like I said before, if you can't say it's not about money when you're getting money. For all the talk about FPL affects people's mental health, you've got a tough year mentally, but first season I've got into FPL properly. Following content and community has been a lifeline for me. That's really great to hear, Jake. And hopefully if you're around here more often, you'll see a lot of people in the chat. We'll banter with each other, but it's like respectful banter. So always welcome here, mate. If it's helping you out, then that's great. And that's what FPL should be. And that's why when people say, your rank's terrible, your team's terrible, and ooh, it's like, but I play my FPL team for fun. just I play 5 at the back, play 4 big premiums at the back. What was it? The J-Lo strategy we were calling it, or the Australians call it the mullet, the big at the back. Just that's how I play it. I don't suggest people copy my moves because my moves can be crazy. I'll take hits left, right, and center. But yeah, play for fun. William, yeah, I've already mentioned about him calling out Andy FPL. I already mentioned that. Cool, thanks, mate. Yeah, Dexter, just go for it. If you don't know what to do, I'd roll it. Hey, man, have a look at my game week last week. It was madness. 25,000. Was that your game week rank? Daniel, I don't know what your team is, though. I don't even know how I would find you. Because I can't click on game week rank. So I don't know how I'd find you, Daniel. You'd have to give me like an ID or something. Didn't mean it. Yeah, I know what you mean, Chris. I know you didn't change Salah because I was backing him. Never changed captain last minute. True. I think I've just seen Matt there. I'm going to check that in a minute. Antonio, fixture run is not looking great. Considering ditching him, bringing Tony. I've got Tony. I'm going to go back to Matt's team. We're going to look at this in a minute. Hey, Matt failed bench boost. Like, surfer sign. Matt, hit me out. Good. Thank you, Matt. You posted. Jake as well. Thanks for taking the rough to the smooth. Oh, putting life in FPL metaphors as well. What a time to be alive. Matt, good. I'm so glad you put this here, mate. So this is it, right? When we talk about FPL, we make the decisions. It works out, it doesn't. We laugh about it, and then we learn. We can learn. I tell my students this. I'm a teacher, right? I tell my students this when I'm teaching English to foreign kids. It's like you make a mistake, we laugh about it, you say it wrong, and then we learn what the real answer is or the real way to speak English is, right? It's the same thing with this, right? We laugh about it, but we look at the decision making, we see if we agree or disagree, and then we make it into our own strategy, our own plan, and grow from it that way. Last year, you scored 7 on a double game week bench boost. The year before, you scored 14 on a single. So Matt, let's just pick apart this strategy. Matt is basing this single game week bench boost just because last year you got 7 on a double game week and just thought randomly, I'm going to do it in a single game week. Game week 9, let's go. Breaking, Kovacic suffers hamstring injury, out for some weeks. We'll have to double check that. We'll have to check that's the truth and nothing but the truth. I'm not saying Mr. Chatterjee is lying, but obviously we'll always double check our sources here. 266. 266. How far back do I have to go here? Oh, not long. Here we go. We'll have a look. I'll look at yours in a minute, Dan, but let me catch up with the chat. Aspie being in training, reckon he'll play Rob. Think I'm going to swap him for Chilwell. To Chilwell. Let me copy and paste your... I don't want to say it's sideways move because Chilwell is... I think Chilwell will play. Can you not go both? Can you not go both? This should be Chris's team. Oh, okay, then fine. Oh, I know what I need to. I can find your team another way in a minute. Chris, that's really difficult. Let me look at your team first. I wanted it out of the way so you don't waste your time planning for it. So, okay, so we'll go back to hold, before we look at Denver's, let's just go back to Matt. Oh God! All right, Matt played his bench boost. We don't need to see it anymore. He's suffered enough. So he played his bench boost to get out of the way. I wouldn't think like that, Matt. I know what you mean. That some people will pigeonhole themselves or they'll box themselves in because they're going to play this chip at this time. I completely agree, but I still would have gone for just a random bench boost in a double game week. But that's just my opinion. You want it out of the way so you don't waste your time. Yeah, if Asby started in Wolves, you done 19 points off 5 margins. Yeah, that's FPL. It's unlucky, mate. You took a pop. You did something different. So fair play to you. Ali's back. Internet is so funny. Ali, have you deleted your FPL account? Be honest. Decent bench boost for you, maybe 20 points to yours, 15. And it's never guaranteed. No points is guaranteed. Is it true FPL accounts auto delete if you aren't active for so long? I don't know, Chris. I don't think so. First time check. Hey Zach, first time checking out your videos, mate. But I've been following the fight for holding FPL Hub accountable. Just wanted to say nice one. Yeah, cheers, Zach. It's your support and people's support that helps me along with that because no one else is saying anything. If anyone wants to feel better, you Captain Havertz got 5 points on the bench boost, and you didn't delete your account. You're living the dream. Yes. Fortunately, I still do have you here. So, Matt, Captain Havertz, played a bench boost and went from 4K to 45K. Hey, Shway, how you doing, buddy? And he went for it. Good on you, Matt. Yeah, just take it. Living the dream. Sweaty smile emoji. That's just the way it is. It's in 9 times out of 10, mate. Havertz gets 2 goals. Aspilicueta plays and gets a clean sheet and an assist. Semedo doesn't concede a last minute goal, and you're probably looking at 115 points, 120 points. So that's fine. Just happens, mate. But yeah, same as Shani, full of respect for that. Laughing it off, it hurts, but it's a long season. And look, I know it's a different game, right? But I play Fantasy Formula One. I'm a F1 fan. I like the Formula One racing, and I'm doing really well. Like I'm like top 1,000 for one of my 3 teams, and that one. Their version of like the triple captain. I played that on Max Verstappen when Hamilton wiped him out, which meant I lost points. And I've still done really well. So it doesn't. Chips don't define your season. They can massively improve it, but they don't break it. Uh, 45K is still like, yeah, you're still rocking it. It's still like top 40 or whatever in the FPL Hall Championship. Yeah, my sympathy's vanished because you're still doing really well. You don't belong with the 4K nosebleed territory. Hey Steve, you email Hub, got your money back, they deleted your account and you changed your passwords. They will be in trouble soon because of breach of data like EasyJet, etc., who didn't protect their account. Yeah, but that's it, Steve. We don't know because they're not saying anything. You stuck out like a sore thumb. Hey James, welcome back, buddy. How you doing, mate? I love that, Matt. It's so funny. Do you know, Matt? I had a similar post myself. So this week, a lot of people have been posting their overall rank history, and mine isn't good. Mine's not good at all. So this was my tweet earlier on. So people are discussing FPL rank history, and here's me appearing on Scout streams with my history. There's me, clown, sticking out like a sore thumb. That's same as me, mate. It's like I'll be on with people like, and here we have Mr. FPL guy here. He's got 8 top 10k finishes and he's never finished outside the top 100k. And we've got this guy here who's won it before and he's came 3rd. And got this guy here. And then it's like, and here's Rob. He plays for a long time. Here he is. News bar on my stream isn't working right. No. You know what? Thanks for telling me that because I can fix that. Oh no! I can fix that immediately, mate. Oh, damn it! Gotcha. Da, 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 da. Thanks for that. I don't know why. It was fine pre-stream when I checked that, but thanks for pointing that out, mate. Drop a like if we hit 50. Rob will release my apology for the point videos. Spoil it's full of shame and Joker. Actually, it wouldn't be for Joker. It'd have to be for my man JJ and Kevin Davis. Big Kevin. Do you know Ivan Campo has on multiple occasions replied or liked to my comments on Twitter? This is true. And when we had the League Cup final against Middlesbrough, I wore a big Ivan Campo wig to the final. And my dad parked on the wrong side. So the week before, Blackpool were in a final, and I went to watch them. It was at Cardiff, Millennium Stadium. And we parked on one side of the stadium. And my dad, for the Bolton game, parked on the same side, not realizing that we weren't on that side anymore. So I had to walk through the whole tens of thousands of I was like 12, 13 years old, with my dad walking through tens of thousands of Middlesbrough fans with a massive Ivan Campo wig on and Bolton shirt. So yeah. Anthony, gotta go work out the gym. Take care, mate. Yeah, cheers. Thanks for the chat, and thanks for the super chat, mate. I've never had them before, and you and Shani both did it. Take care. Keep fit. You keeping fit and healthy. Last week's horror story removed Mount for Havertz. Captain KDV. That's even worse than Havertz. Had Salah's advice. Oh, James. Wasn't so. Matt's Captain Havertz and bench boosted to 5 points, and KDB was a 1 pointer, wasn't he? So and you lost to 24 points for Havertz's 3. And James, don't work it out. Don't work whatever it is, James. Don't work out how many points you've lost. Havertz could get Hull versus Newcastle. Look sharp. Got a goal in the week. Short-term investment. Yep. I agree. Havertz could get something. He just would not be my captain. Direct quote from Casual Tuchel. Yesterday, Kovacic injured himself in training. He'll be out for some weeks. I think that's a big loss for Chelsea. Unfortunately, you did delete your FPL side. Seeing the 7-0 at live score got you excited as Havertz captain in Aspiona, and you saw nothing for your captain, obviously, in Aspilicueta not playing. Can you get your account back, mate? Because isn't there like a 20 or 30 day grace period? Get it back. Come on. I said earlier, Ali, make it fun. Make a British Isle, a Great Britain team. Do something like if you're not fed up with it, go on have some fun. Make a blue only team. Make I don't know, birthdays in the first half of the team. Something, anything crazy. I think a British Isles, a Great Britain team, would be pretty good. I know last year it would have been. You got Kane, right? Oh, I don't know. Maybe I think you're in the UK, Ali, right? Or wherever you are. It'd be difficult, to be honest. Being in the Premier League, doing a UK team is the easiest thing to do. I mean, if you're from Ghana, you can't really have like you could put together an African FPL side? Obviously, you'd have Mane and Salah in it, or descendants, or they would be eligible for an African team. Maybe have like an African FPL side. That'd be pretty exciting. See if you can put one of those together. Got to Captain Havertz again this week, James. I love it. What's that quote from Einstein? That he isn't even an Einstein quote of like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing again and again. Time to get the rank back you lost last week. Brave or stupid? Brave, James. Anything not Captain Salah is brave and stupid. No disrespect meant, of course. You never been that high. Figured why not attack and strike? Yes, Matt. Thank you. So this is still Matt's script. I'm not trying to rub it in, Matt, but this was Matt's team. He's attacked. He played a bench boost when he felt it was right. He went for the Captain Havertz because he was 4K, and just like me, Matt, he was at 4K, which is an incredible rank. If you finish the season with 4K, if you offered me 4K now, like, I wouldn't want to say yes, but if you told me in the future, no matter what you do, you'll finish 4K, I'd be like, wow, what a finish. But he thought, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to attack it. I'm going to see how high can I go. because there's fine line decisions where I'm going to choose a player, I'm going to choose a captain, and no one else is going to do it. And I'm going to go from 4K to 1K, and then 1K to top 50. Takes 2 or 3 weeks to do it, right? I like that. Some people would have just played it safe. I'm in the 4K. I want to hang around. I'm going to copy people's moves. Good on you for attacking it. I'd have done the exact same. I wouldn't have made the same moves you made, but I would have had the same mentality. This is your first year. Got 180 points this game. We're up to 34K. Nice, Steve. What a score. The season is a disaster for you. Worst season since you started 4 years ago. Your previous seasons were much better. This one, but the worst. Currently 500th in my league. Swear, I don't want to even click that far back, buddy. But it's not over. Look, one of the things that happens to me every single year, like from game week 9 last year, I was like 4.5 million. And I finished last season like 112,000 or something like that. It is not even close. And this year is so tight. Let's just go to live FPL, right? So I'm 630K, I think I am. 620, all right, 630K, so we're not splitting hairs. Let's scroll down. I am 43 points away from top 100. Equally, I'm 17 points and I'm back over 1 million. It is that tight. It is that tight. So it doesn't matter if you are right now 1 million, because you're only 30 points from 300K. And then from there, you're only 30 points from 50K. So don't worry, don't be too hard on yourself. Out of 14 players, including 3 subs, only Havertz got no return, I think I should say. Obviously, Aspi was rested injured. Yeah, he was. Bring it back, Ali. Come on. Get back in it. Can you help you with... oh, yeah. Okay, let's just look at Denver's. If Denver's still around. Let me just copy and paste this ID and I'll do it in a second. Denver's team looks great. Not a fan of Tierney. I like the Bernardo pick because he's playing and doing really well. Gray's fine. Rafinha's... I think this team is fine. How much is Tierney? 4.9. What have you got in the bank? Nothing. Oh, I'd say Livramento, but it's not even cheap anymore. More pay. How about more pay? Newcastle next one. More pay to Huang. How about more pay to Huang at Wolves? How about that, Denver? And this is Chris's team. Matt, makes sense the decision if we would have gone around, you'd been top 500. Exactly. 21-day termination already done since this. You already did it once, recorded on the 18th day. There you go, Ali. You can get back in the game, mate. Cheers. It is what it is. Yeah, Matt, I don't agree with the strategy, but with the mentality, I fully agree with. Isn't there any other defender you can bin off for Chilwell? So, yeah, this is a team. We'll check in a second. When AFCON is being played, all 15 players will be unavailable. AFCON might be cancelled. We're going to have to wait and see. Still said you went Werner and Lukaku just talking about it. Guppy, there's nothing you could have done about that, mate. Nothing. The fact that Werner and Lukaku got injured in the same game, nothing. Like, that is not your fault whatsoever. Ali, shame you can't do it with the Turkish ass until January. Yeah, you're all, yeah. You're 4.5 million now. I was 4.5 million last year, mate, and I almost made top 100K, and I still didn't have good game week. So, and I've just showed you how tight it is, Shui, so you can get back in. Your rank is 58 in my mini league. That is good, Alpha. Yep, we'll look at. So that's what, top 200K. No love for Saints strikers. Next 3 look great. That Brockhow, whatever his name is injured. So Armstrong might be back. Just attacking wise, stats for the strikers of Southampton are not good. Last year, you had a great run in November with 3 consecutive games over 95. Yeah, I remember. I was genuinely... Do you remember when lockdown finished and we had that game week plus? Like the last 8 game weeks or 6 or 7 game weeks or whatever was like game week 34 plus, 35 plus. Genuinely, the end of that season, I had Sterling. I was one of genuinely the most informed players, managers for that time, and that's when I jumped all the way back up. Eddie, hi there. Should you take a -8 to get Trent, Son, Jesus for Aspilicueta, Ronaldo, and Gray? No. 41,000 rank. Nice. PS just joined the league. Don't know why you hadn't already. Yeah, I don't know why. I think Chris has mentioned this to me before. It should just let you join. I don't know why it doesn't. Would love to get our lonely back from Staith. Yeah, he's on loan from Chelsea, isn't he? That striker. There's some kind of feeder link between Southampton going on here. Right, so let's have a look at Chris's team. So Aspilicueta comes back in. Douglas Luiz obviously goes to the bench. So it's, how much have you got in the bank? 1 million. All right, so you're starting Edison, Cancelo, Diaz, Rudiger, Aspilicueta. Havertz, Salah, Rafinha, Vardy, Jimenez, Antonio. I don't know what the problem is. Like, you're just thinking of going Aspilicueta to Chilwell. You've got 1 million. 4.4 to 5.4. No defender I would improve. You're going to play a 4-3-3, right, Chris? Yeah, I'll do it in a second, Skystock. I'm just going through Chris's team. Cancelo, Diaz, Rudiger, Aspilicueta. Honestly, for this game week, again, I'd roll a transfer. If you've got 2 free transfers, have a go. Chris, watch the scout video later or find the team news another way. Chilwell is a much better option. Agreed. I agree. The only reason I'm saying that is he didn't play. I want to say that he was training this week, same as Christensen. Watch the team conference. If Tuchel comes out and says Aspilicueta's fine, I'd probably keep Aspilicueta because he didn't play last week. He didn't play in the cup, so he's probably just as likely to play this week. Chelsea have a callback clause for Broja. They might need it at some point if Werner and Lukaku's out for longer. I just think if Tuchel comes out and says Aspilicueta is fine, he's training with the squad, there's no problems with Aspilicueta, I'd rather go into next game week with 2 free transfers than just do Aspilicueta to Chilwell for nothing. Chris, if you don't think Aspilicueta is going to play, go to Chilwell. That's my advice. The rest of your team's fine. Douglas Luiz goes back on the bench. Aspilicueta for Chilwell. And you can't plan everything because probably Cancelo's going to get benched, or Diaz is going to get benched, or Havertz, or Jimenez, or Vardy, or someone else is going to get benched. Here's my genuine advice here, Chris. I would not use your transfer right now on Aspilicueta. I think your bench is a problem because you've got Douglas Luiz, Brownhill, and Duffy. If any of your starting 11 is injured or rotated, you've got Douglas Luiz coming off the bench, you've got Brownhill coming off the bench, or you've got Duffy coming off the bench. My personal opinion, 5.6. How much is Umbuemo? Again, wait for press conferences, right? But Umbuemo is 5.6 million, right? You don't have any Brentford players. They're about to hit a real good run of fixtures, right? I would genuinely, you've got 1 million in the bank. I would do Douglas Luiz to Umbuemo of Brentford if he's okay, right? And I'd keep Aspilicueta for this game week because Aspilicueta is 6.2, so you can still afford Chilwell, right? And I would play Cancelo, Diaz, Rudiger, Aspilicueta, Rafinha, Salah, Havertz, Vardy, Jimenez, Antonio, and I'd have Umbuemo first bench. So then if I had a rotation or something bad happened to a player or something, I'd be having a Brentford player against Burnley come on the pitch. So that's my opinion. And Aspilicueta could play right wing back or right centre back. So I think in terms of him being nailed, he missed out because he had a bit of an injury. But that'd be my move. I think because if you get Chilwell in and he plays, that's fine. But you've got a rotating, you know, these guys could get rotated. So that's what I would do. I would use that 1 million in the bank and go Douglas Luiz to Umbuemo. look at that team in a minute. Adam, thinking of doing Semedo, Ronaldo to Chilwell and Tony for a -4. Should you go for it? I don't like the idea of doing it. Even though I don't like having Ronaldo, the idea of taking a hit for him out is not good. He was celebrating midweek, no evidence of a shoulder injury. Tielemans, what's your thoughts on him? I think he's a great player. I think there's just better FPL options. Like Gallagher for Crystal Palace, he's a fantastic player, but his FPL quality is a bit lower. I mean, look at Tielemans as well. He's scoring absolute screamers. 9 times out of 10, they don't go in. You think Aspi, Christensen, Rudiger in the middle, and then James and Chilwell? Yep. You're getting Bommel for Brownhill next week. But then why not just do it this week and keep Aspilicueta and then make that Aspilicueta to Chilwell swap next week? As fantastic as Chilwell is, Aspi should be playing right wing back if James doesn't start. That's a very good point, Matt. Aspilicueta is still a decent option. I completely agree. Posted your 11 on Discord. I'll check in a second. I mean, you could get on Bommel this week instead of good point. Says Aspilicueta has returned to training. So, yeah, there you go. Skystalker, I mentioned what I was going to do anyway. So if we just go to my team for a second, nothing this week, and then Kane out to maybe Jimenez, and then Gallagher up to Son. That would be my move. If I wanted to save a bit of money and improve elsewhere, it would be Kane down to Hwang instead of Jimenez, and Gallagher still goes to Son. I think either way, unless there's something happens today or something happens before next week and I can't keep 2 free transfers, what I would like to happen is Kane and Gallagher out, Son and somebody like Hwang or Jimenez in. 7.9 million striker or below would be my budget. And then if I've got future transfers, I can wiggle around. So, for example, if I go Hwang, I can make Christensen into Chilwell or Aspilicueta, and I could improve Rafinha to Foden. So if I go Hwang and Son, in the future, I can go like Christensen to Reece James and Rafinha to Phil Foden. So they're my moves. And so just before I go, the last one I'll look at is Adams here. This is tough, buddy. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie here, Adam. Because Semedo and Ronaldo. See, here's the thing: isn't White might be out, and Bommel White might be out. Rafinha could still be out. We have to wait for the press conferences. Erdegaard is 5.5. This one's difficult. So you want to take out Ronaldo and Semedo. Adam, here's why I wouldn't do those two, right? It's really simple. Because they are 2 of your starting in your entire squad who don't have a flag. So you'd be taking out Semedo, who's probably going to play, and Ronaldo, who's probably going to play, and replacing him with other players. But you've got White, who's flagged, and Bomo, who's flagged, Rafinha, who's flagged, and Erdegaard, who's flagged. So that's why I would personally be worried, mate. Because you've got a team that you're going to take out fit players for fit players, and you're sat here with flags. Thoughts on KDB, James? Great option. Too much money if you're not going to captain him. Good call. You've got Kane. You might see how Kane does. Wildcard time, Adam. Yeah, for me, this is wildcard if you've not used it, if I'm honest. But, okay, so if you've got a wildcard, Adam, let's look at it. Who would leave? Sanchez, I wouldn't sell him on a wildcard. He's got decent fit. He's got Liverpool, but then decent fixture. Semedo would go. White would go. So let's count them up. Semedo, White would go. Livramento stays. Rafinha, he's got Norwich. Do you give him more weight if you've got a wild card? Mbomo stays. Salah stays. Antonio maybe goes. Vardy maybe goes. Ronaldo goes. And then your entire bench goes. So at least Erdegaard. Sissoko, if you're playing that formation, would be 4.5 anyway, and Williams as well. So maybe not wild card. The reason that could push a wild card here, though, is because if you wild carded and you sold Ronaldo to Hwang, that's 7-8 million you can spread around your entire team, entire squad, improve him. So even though in a wild card I'm only saying maybe 4 of them would go, it's Ronaldo. The fact that you've got 12.5 million there, that if you knock that down to a 5.6 million striker, 6, 7, you'd have 7 million to improve just from one player. Use a wild card in game feel what you feel screwed. Not screwed, mate. Not screwed. I would just not be looking to do a -4 taking out fit players right now, mate. When listen for press conferences. Yeah, because you've got White, even if your place has got Leicester, you're not going to start Sissoko or Williams. Odegaard, who can you move? Who've you got money? You've got 1.4 in the bank. Who can Odegaard go to? 6.9 million. Maybe just use your one transfer, right? Okay, here's my suggestion for you, Adam, right? Real simple one. For one game week, one transfer, Odegaard to a sub £7 million midfielder and play him instead of White. So play Sanchez, Semedo, Trent, Livramento, Salah and Bomo, Rafinha, and whoever you get in for Odegaard, Antonio, Vardy, Ronaldo. That's what I would do, Adam. If this was my team right now, Odegaard swap with White, so White would be first sub, and then sell Odegaard for a midfielder under 7 million, because I think that's your budget. You and Ward Prowse today, but you could get Ward Prowse. You could get Smith Rowe. It's not great form. You could get Zaha, but I wouldn't. You've already got Mbomo. You can't get Gundogan. It's not ideal. It's tough. Or like you said, maybe take a hit with Ronaldo, but Ronaldo down to a Jimenez or something like that, and Odegaard up to Son. So you don't take out Semedo because he's one of the only fit players, but you could do Ronaldo to Jimenez is like 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 million. Yeah, you could do that. Ronaldo to Jimenez, Odegaard to Son for -4 might help that. Give his players 1 week to recover. I wouldn't free hit this because if I'm honest, it's going to sound harsh, but if I'm honest, the players coming back in don't have a good future. White isn't a good future option. Antonio, yeah, you hit him out for Villa, but then you're going to get him back for Liverpool. But if you sold Ronaldo for a hit now, it's Spurs and then City next week, Watford and then Chelsea. So that would be what I would do, mate. If you can't do Odegaard to a player that you like, do Ronaldo to someone like Jimenez and do Odegaard up to Son and play 4-3-3 that way. That'd be my advice. All right, guys, a big stream there, like 2 hours and 20 minutes. And it could be my last one for like a month. If I'm around, I might try and do Twitter Spaces, guys. This is my Twitter. I might try and do Twitter Spaces because people can just pop in and talk. I've never done them before. They're getting pretty popular. It would be cool to just pop in and say hi to you guys. If I can't get, because I won't be at a computer because I'll be in a maternity hospital for a while. So if I do a Twitter Space on here, we could come and join and chat on this one because I might be gone from YouTube for like a month because a new baby. So yeah. Odegaard to ESR, maybe. No, that's sideways for me, Adam. I'd go up. Or I'd, like I said, Ronaldo to Jimenez and Odegaard to, like, Son would be great, in my opinion. But save the hit, yeah. Wasting bench boost is fine, but free hit isn't. Yep, I agree, Matt. I agree. Free hit, free hit is, like, that bit in your pocket where you've got, like, 8 players missing a game or something. like a blank game week. That's what the free hit's for. Twitter Space will be good sometime. Yeah, I've never done it before. I've seen it. It's looking popular. A lot of people jump in, and it's something I could do whilst I'm away. Ollie out, yes. Bobby, I don't think United will improve under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So yeah, if some Twitter Space is coming along, I'll post it on here. But I could be gone for like a month, so maybe I'll see you in a month. Maybe I'll see you on the Scout stream on Monday. Follow me on Twitter, and this is where I post all my information, and I'll reply to you. So all the best with the bubba. Cheers, Matt. Good luck with your future chips, mate, and in your captaincy. And yeah, thanks for all joining, guys. Take care. Thanks for the super chats we got today. I don't know where that money goes. We're gonna have to go and find out. Have a good weekend. Good luck, everyone. Hopefully your arrows are green, just not as green as mine. Take care, guys. I'll catch you all later.